25th, 2022, approximately 4:41 p.m. We're at the Uvalde DPS office in Uvalde, Texas, 78801. In the interview room is Rick Wahada with the Texas Rangers. Full Crusoe, Texas Rangers.
And Officer Adrian Gonzalas with the Uvalde CISD Police Department.
Okay. What's your date of birth, sir?
5/15/73. And it's Gonzalez with an S at the end.
What's a good contact number for you? And your address?
No, it's standard police issued recording equipment, potato.
Studer S.
What's your radio number?
422.
How long have you been employed with the school district?
With the school district PD for since July, in about 10 months.
So you started in July 2021?
Yes.
Okay, 2000. And before that, sir?
I worked for the Uvalde Police Department from 2009 to July 2021. I resigned from there and went to work for the school district. I was about 10 years, 10 months with them.
10 years, 10 months?
Yes.
So working for the school district police, what school are you assigned to?
The Uvalde High School.
How long have you been there?
I've been there since school started.
What's your shift?
It depends on yesterday I was the 9 o'clock guy to 6 o'clock.
So 9 a.m.
9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
And that would have been, well, today I would have been covering Morales School because one of our officers has left the department,
Mm-hmm.
so I would have been covering her shift from 8 to 5 today.
Okay. But yesterday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. you were assigned to.
So we know that they were short-staffed.
Yeah.
The high school?
Yes, I was assigned to high school.
Okay. How many police officers in the school district police department?
6,
6?
and then the female she's getting ready. I don't know if
Six-
she's officially resigned.
six
but I know
people.
last Friday.
Doing shift at how many schools? How many
that's
schools?
I don't know how many schools Uvalde has. Both Nick and I are reaching up to go to Chat GPT.
Yep. 8 schools.
This math isn't mathing.
No. You have, well, they said eight schools, but they list 9.
One is typically like the Department of Education for the school district, so it'll kind of be like
yeah.
their head office. At least that's how school districts are typically in my area. It might be different in Texas.
So 6 officers on 8 schools.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder, I also want to find out, because it came out in from one of these teachers, that all the other elementary schools, I think implying most of the other schools, had the key fobs. So why was Uvalde or Robb Elementary kind of given the short end?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've built a new school, so it might be that they were getting ready to build a new school, didn't want to invest in it anymore in an old school building. But being so cheap we can't afford to buy keys so our school is unlocked is not the answer.
So it's 6 police officers, and what about is that including the chief and?
The chief, lieutenant, and three officers at the high school.
It's the chief, lieutenant,
And then
and 3 officers?
3 police officers, yes.
And 3 police officers. So the sixth one would have been the female that just,
The sixth one's actually housed, she covers, her campus is Morales Junior High, which is the junior high.
which you said she's leaving?
She wasn't on scene, actually Officer Ruby Gonzales was covering the school over there.
Okay, Officer Ruby Gonzalez?
Ruby,
Okay,
and that one's Gonzales with the Z.
okay.
She was covering Morales Junior High, Monday and Tuesday.
Who was assigned to the Robb Elementary School yesterday?
Nobody was assigned to Robert.
No officers, no assigned.
I hate to say it, but as really a cat mom,
How many?
did Robb
students
Elementary
do you have?
had the short end of the stick because it was a majority Hispanic and the rest of the schools wasn't?
I think it's mostly, I don't know, that's something we're going to have to look up because
Yeah, but
I know
South
there is
Texas,
a bigger
yeah.
Hispanic population, so
Mm,
I don't know, but it could be possible.
mm.
Also, why are there three officers at the high school? So now,
More
have-
kids with guns.
fair point. I didn't even think of that, but that's a good point.
Did you guys
Yeah,
go?
okay, the entire area is
Uvalde High
Hispanic.
School,
Okay.
Uvalde Morales Junior High, Flores Elementary. We have the Dual Language Academy, which is Anthon School. If you actually look it up, it's Anthon School. Robb Elementary, and then we have Crossroads, which is the kids kind of, they work at their own pace, to get their GED or their diploma and things like that, and for expecting mothers. And then we got a campus at Batesville Elementary. Yes, and Dalton Elementary, which is our pre-K and kindergarten class.
So during the day, are you guys assigned marked units?
Yes, we have a marking unit.
Okay.
They're actually we take them home.
Okay. So, going back to yesterday, can you walk me through just basically your entire workday from the time you checked on and what you did and then how?
Okay, I checked in at the high school right before 9 o'clock, and I actually met one of the sergeants from the police department. We're out there talking for a little bit. He asked me if I was going to go to the park, which is we call it the Western Park, the Mexican Park. It's actually named the Parque de los Héroes, Park of the Heroes. The senior class was having activities out there for them, which is a senior class because they're getting ready to graduate. He goes, "Are you going out there because they told us to actually patrol the park?" I go, "No, nobody's told me." Then my Lieutenant Mike Hernandez texted me and said if I can go out there from 9:30 to 11:30 with the seniors.
Okay.
So I got on location to the Western Park, drove around because there's some of our local, I guess.
Okay, so if he hadn't been told and no one had made coverage for this senior thing, he could have been further away.
Yeah.
Drunks hang out there just, waiting, just, doing whatever, utilizing the restroom, taking baths and everything like that. So patrolled it. There was a couple of people there, just drove around because the kids, like I said, towards I want to say the back end of the park, there's a little basketball court and a volleyball court. Some of the kids were playing basketball, and the two people that I observed were actually sitting on the park there. So I just drove around, just let them know that I was there.
Okay.
Parked a couple of spaces, stopped, looked to make sure everybody was, nobody was getting approached. Drove around, finally got off and, interacted with the kids and the principal and some of the staff. I want to say maybe about 11, 15, they started debriefing the kids. telling them, we're gonna get ready because they bust them out there. So they had about 4 to 5 buses out there in the park. So they were telling them, hey, we're gonna give you some packets. The packets were for the pictures for graduation. And you need this, and you need to turn in before the day of the graduation and stuff like that. So they were telling the kids before they get on the bus to make sure they're, stuff like that. So some of the kids started walking towards the bus, and then I heard on the police radio of 1050, which was an accident at Geraldine and Grove Street. So I told the assistant principal, Joel, what's ahead? I'm taking off. I go, there's an accident by the school. So at the Western Parks, I want to say maybe about the 800 block. Rob is like 400 block of Geraldine. So I came up, I left, and then when I was actually getting in my car, I heard the radio traffic that the guy has a gun. So I turn on my red and blue lights.
Okay, so he's not even in his car. He's been told about the accident. He's at the 800 block, so he's got 3 blocks to go. As he's starting his car, getting ready to go over there, he has a gun. So he's not even on scene when this stuff. The state is so dirty.
The car crash, shooting at the
funeral home people.
Funeral home, and starting to walk towards the school, and he is not in his car, 3 blocks away. Yeah.
I'm not running sirens, so just red and blue lights. I come out of the park, which is Farrar Street, take a left on South Farrar, because the park's actually on Farrar Street. So I go up Farrar Street, cut on West Garden, the 300 block, 400 block, and then I go up South Evans Street. From South Evans, I hit Geraldine. So Geraldine actually is where the school's at, sits on Geraldine and Oakland. When I approach, I don't know if you're familiar with it, Geraldine has a little twist on it. Okay, towards the back of the school where the vehicle was at, like a half a block up, there's a little twist. So when I came up, I heard the traffic. I don't know if it was when I was on Geraldine on Evans that he was running towards the school. So there was no clothing description provided. So when I came up, I saw people at that curb, like standing, looking towards the school.
Okay, so he's already running toward the school. He hasn't even made it to Geraldine Street yet.
No.
What was he supposed to do?
I don't know.
And the state thought this was good for them?
Yeah, apparently.
Hey, state, come here. Whatever gummies you have access to, I'm not saying, but bring enough for the class.
School. So when I came up to school, I observed the truck inside I could say a bar ditch, but it has like a concrete where I guess the water sits, so it doesn't sit, so it flows. It was sitting in there, and the rails were all broken up and stuff like that. So when I came up, the actual back gate, the teacher, I guess it's a teacher parking lot. There's a teacher parking lot towards the Old Carrizo, and there's a teacher, I guess the teachers that have classrooms in that where the shooting happened, parked there. But there's a gate, it should have been closed, it was wide open. So
a gate that should have been closed was open.
And he oriented himself to that because he knew, oh God, this is not, maybe he has a friend.
Are the employees at this fucking elementary school mentally incapable of locking anything?
Okay. This one, remember, she was the sweet lady. They were having an after-school party. The coach was on his way back with the groceries. She unlocked the gate. She was standing guard by it. He must have come in as she was running toward the guy. So it's frustrating, but this one we actually had a really...
Okay.
I love it. Like,
thank you.
She was sweet. I'll allow it. But she seemed ate up. She seemed really torn up about all of it. And... that's not even where he entered. So
okay, I forgot about that. So thank you for
it's okay.
reminding
We've
me.
had a lot of bullshit with no locking doors because whatever's. So it's inconvenient and people annoy me.
I approached. I actually saw a lady in a peach navy orange t-shirt running. You know, I didn't know it was a lady or not. I knew it was a lady after I made contact with her, but I saw her, went to her because they said they were running towards the school. I was going over there towards her. No sirens, just light, red and blue lights. I see her fall in a dust of cloud. So I get to her and I realize.
Remember, the defense has said he saw somebody fall down. Yeah. But this is him talking after he knew everything, the day after. He's not testifying to this was my immediate reactions.
Yeah, and he heard running toward the school, but there was no description. So he sees someone running.
Yeah.
He went right there. And she fell before, so he's like, oh, okay, maybe she's been shot. Render aid. Now, I know the little test thing said ignore the cries of the wounded, but
She's one of the coaches. I don't know her name. She's dark complected coach, short hair, boyish, tomboyish coach. And she tells me, he's over there. I go, who's
the word he was searching for was butch.
Okay, so he's over there, the shooter. He's wearing black.
So he gets over to her and she starts pointing. He's wearing black. So let's see what he does next.
He's wearing black. I go, where? So when I turn, actually, my vehicle's still there. At the school, it's the Crown Vic that says UCISD. It's like, it's close over there. So when I get out and I approach her, she's like, he's over there. I go, where? She goes, he's over there. He's in black by the teacher parking. So when I look, I start hearing rounds going off. I don't know where they're coming from, but I just know they're getting muffled. They're behind the building. So then I hear like banging.
He's taking account for the echo. He's OODA looping the hell out of this shit.
So I think I under my radio, I don't know if I break, I said, hey, shots fired at Rob School. And then I tell him, the general location where he's at. So I start moving up, trying to get from front of my vehicle to the back. There was the only thing that was the tree and then the building. So I started walking towards there, and then I see an officer, one of the PD officers coming, and then all of a sudden I see like glass coming out and firing, somebody firing at glass, a couple of rounds come out of the glass, and I tell the PD officer, get back, it's coming from over there. So we get there, I want to say Sergeant Page from the Uvalde Police Department show up, and the chief show up. Chief Arredondo show up. So the chief.
Amber, this officer is the officer that is the defendant in this case. He was one of the first responders on scene at Robb Elementary. He was the school resource officer for the high school. This is his account of what he did that day, and the state put it on to show how neglectful he was. It's not working because he seems to have done a good job.
Now, the state doesn't talk about timeline. The claim is from when he arrived to when the guy entered the school, 3 minutes. I'm not sure what the base is. Well, we saw in the opening statement, we saw the defense timeline, and I got it to about 1.5 minutes. So in 1.5 minutes, he stops the car because he saw this woman fall over. Up to her, she's saying, he's over there. And then he started hearing shots fired. He starts to get himself, do the Oompa Loompa thingy, and approaches, starts seeing shots fired getting out from the school. So,
well, because if you remember, by the time he radios in shots fired, he's already in the school.
Yeah.
So at what point could Adrian have stopped him? We hear, so he's starting his car when he hears about the car wreck. Before he even gets moving in his car, he's running. He gets the instruction that this person's running toward the school.
Yeah.
He is maybe a street away, he gets radio shots fired. He drives up as soon as he gets to the school, he sees a gate open, goes directly to a person that's stopped or dropped. By the time he radios in, the shooter's already inside the school. Where was he supposed to stop him? And I mean, take it with a grain of salt. This is also his retelling of a traumatic memory. So as much as he's been training himself to remember things accurately, there might be, time compressions or different things that his brain has done.
Yeah, and we don't know if there are subsequent interviews where he clarifies, okay, we see here there's a time gap. Can you please explain it? And maybe there are more recorded interviews. Or this was it. And then nothing happened until later when they charged him. When they couldn't find another scapegoat.
Donald Page and myself go in on one side. Lieutenant Martinez from the Uvalde Police Department and Sergeant Gonzales come in through the other side, through the back door. And
what door did you enter?
I entered the door where my vehicle's at, so it's going to be the south door.
Okay, because the school's right here.
Yes.
And then there's a big field.
Yes.
And then this is a ravine, right?
Yes.
And this is where the vehicle was?
Yes.
So you approached?
There's a gate right there. Yes, there's a gate, yes.
Okay. So you parked here?
No, I drove in because, like I said, I saw that lady running. She was actually about right here in this area.
Okay.
So I made contact with her. There's like a breezeway with the kids, like an Onyx.
Yes.
Okay. I made contact with her, and she tells me he's over here. She's pointing this way. He's over there. He's dressed in black. I go, where? And she goes to the teacher parking lot. I want to say I saw a black car at that end, and then I started hearing the rounds go off, and they're like banging, like somebody hitting a metal door. I can't see nothing because it's behind the building. I can't see it. So I notified everybody on the radio the best I could, and then as soon as I start walking over there, I see the rounds come out of the window.
Okay. So when you drove through this gate, you said it was open?
That gate was open.
Okay.
And it should have been locked.
How far did you drive in?
To where my vehicles stopped. Yeah.
There's a pavilion back here, like a big seat,
Yes.
big roof.
Yeah.
So it's in between the school building?
Yeah.
Okay. So you park here, because I know there's a hallway that goes.
Yeah, there's like a walkway, yes.
Okay.
I'm actually, where the vehicle's sitting at, that's where I actually stopped at.
Okay, so you drove up to her,
Yeah.
and she's pointing that he's over here?
Yeah, he's behind the building in the black, he's dressed in black.
Okay. And when you drove through, did you see anybody?
I didn't see anybody.
Okay. Does your unit have a camera?
No,
So there's no audio, video in your?
no, there's no.
Okay. Do you guys wear body cameras?
Okay.
That's a lot of schools for 1,600 people.
What unit number is that?
Unit 44.
Unit 44. What kind of vehicle is it?
It's 2000.
Unless they are collecting students from all over the area.
Ford Fusion.
Yeah, white and color.
Okay. So you drove up to her, she's pointing this way, and when you're talking to her, that's when you start hearing?
Yeah, she said, he's over there. I go, where? She goes, he's over there by the parking lot. And then she goes, he's dressed in black, and then I hear the rounds go off.
Okay, because there's a door right here, right?
Yes, there's a door,
School?
yes.
All right.
There's actually a door.
Windows here?
And then.
Oh,
there's a side door
16,000.
right there.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's where
That
we
makes
made
sense.
entry with
Yeah.
the chief and Sergeant Donald Page.
Oh, okay, so you and Paige came through here, okay.
And I want to say Lieutenant Martinez and Sergeant Gonzales from the PD came in through that back door because we're facing each other. Yes,
Okay. In Canales, you said?
yes. Chief Adelona was with us on our end.
When you said you heard gunshots, would you believe to be gunshots, and you
Yeah.
saw a window?
Like flash shot,
breaking?
yes.
Coming, now was it on these windows or these windows?
No, it was actually on these windows.
On these windows?
Yes.
Okay. When you saw that happen, where were you?
I was,
So at that point, did he point to a spot for you?
Yes.
And which windows was he talking about?
He was talking about the windows on the east side of the main hallway where the shooting occurred of rooms 111 and 112.
And so, looking at State's Exhibit 1, you're familiar with the Robb Elementary setup, are you not?
Yes.
If this is the fourth grade wing, which windows was he speaking of?
He was speaking about these windows on the east side of the building.
Did he saw shots coming out?
Yes.
Thank you.
How would he know? How would this witness know which?
There was that.
Well, because if you saw in the video, he had him
Yeah.
point out exactly.
Actually, a tree right there in that area.
Yes.
In that area, I was walking towards the building.
Okay. So when you made entry with Adrian and Chief Arredondo, what did you see inside the school?
Just, when we opened the doors, it looked like, have you ever seen somebody sell a fire extinguisher?
Mhm.
The smoke, that's what it looked like,
Okay.
smoke burn, something burning. So, we went in there, we kind of knew he was in that area, because I kind of told him, I don't remember if I told him, hey, it's like 3 or 4 windows down, he's in there, so we kind of all, came in together, and, I didn't see Lieutenant Martinez get hit, but I don't know what he did, that he started firing, and then you see him go like that, and everybody scooped back, so I think he got hit, so we kind of moved back, as we're departing, because he was laying fire, when Donald Page stepped back, you see a piece of the sheetrock come through, a round come through, so we back up, and, Page is yelling at Javi, hey, are you hit? Are you hit? And I see Javi holding his inner thigh, and he goes, yeah, I'm hit, but I'm good. So they walk out, and we walk out.
Okay. When that's
Well, you know
going
what?
on,
Sergeant Coronado was with us too.
Coronado?
Yes. He's with the UPD.
Okay. UPD. When these gunshots are going off inside where exactly are you inside the building?
I want to say I'm going to be by the first classroom, right here.
Okay. Do you know what number it is?
No, like I said, there's a hallway.
Yes.
It's a hallway, so I'm gonna be the first one right here. Then I want to say Pages right here.
On the same highway, but across the hall?
I'm actually on the back hall, the back wall, and Pages on this front wall, and Chief and Coronado's on this side.
Okay. And while you 4 gentlemen are here, where do you think the shooter's at? I know there's a hallway that goes this way, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be further more to the end over
Okay.
here, yeah.
All right. Is there another hallway that comes down this way?
I know it runs from that back door to the front, there's a door over here.
Okay, a long hallway.
Yeah.
All right.
So I wanna say there's a hallway here,
Mhm.
and like I said, Lieutenant Martinez was here and Sergeant Canales was there.
Okay. So they were in front of you?
They were in front of us, yeah.
Okay.
We were like, angled in it that way.
Okay. You didn't see Martinez get hit?
No.
But when did you notice that he might be?
Because he's brought it down, and then I heard Paige tell him, are you hit? Are you hit? And he said, yeah, and he like moved backwards, and everybody kind of went back because he started laying around. So I don't know, like I said, I talked to him, he said he kind of peeked in, and that's when the rounds went in. But he said he never saw him.
Mhm.
So the classrooms were dark. From my point of view, the classrooms were all dark. So
Okay. Were the teachers that turned off?
yeah, the teachers are instructed to turn off. That's part of the lockdown procedure.
Okay. What else is part of the lockdown procedure?
Whenever something like that happens, there's a threat on school, they go on.
No idea.
Okay.
There might be certain security lockdown features that they do that they didn't want to get out in public. But at this point, they just bypass them anyway with a rubber band and some duct tape.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, it is now 11 p.m. I, as per usual, have an early start tomorrow morning. I will be listening to this as I try to get to sleep. But I mean, I'm quite wound up here because the minute and a half that he's charged with, and now listening to him talking about the event and the absolute clusterfuck the prosecution tries to present as, no, look how inactive he was.
Yeah, and he's very credible. He's not overhyping himself. He's he's like, this is what happened. And again, what a shock it must have been for him to think I did everything I could. I was there, I went in, and then to be charged with the basically responsibility for 29 deaths. It's just
and with supervisors and chiefs who made horrible decisions, training he wasn't licensed to do or receive, and a school administration who actively handed out stuff to override safety measures, and they charge him.
Maybe, Nick, while you sleep, we'll figure out an answer. It will become clear. I doubt it, but hope springs eternal.
Yeah, I will end with good advice from my grandpa. Itchy butt in the evening makes smelly fingers in the morning.
Always good to know.
See ya.
Okay, let's continue.
Raptor system, and that sends automatic notification to everybody on campus, all the teachers through either through their laptops or their iPads, whatever they have. It sends them the system and it automatically goes to lockdown. And the front office should deploy something over the intercom saying the lockdown. So.
Okay. So you guys are, how many rounds do you think you heard when you were inside the building?
Inside the building, 7 to 9 maybe.
7 to 9 rounds? And when you were outside?
About 13 or 14 rounds.
13 or 14, before you guys actually went into it?
Yeah.
Okay. So after Martinez gets injured, what happens right after that?
We scoop back, and I think we call for the SWAT team to come in.
Do you remember who called for the SWAT team?
I don't know if it was me or Sergeant Coronado, because we couldn't break in the restroom. We couldn't break in the hallway. For some reason, our radio repeatedly don't break inside the buildings, none of the buildings, school buildings.
Okay.
So we try to, I think we called them while we were outside.
So the four of you, Donald Page, yourself, Chief Arredondo, and Sergeant Coronel, did you exit the same
Yes, exit
door?
the same door.
And where did you guys go after that?
We held perimeter right there at that door.
At the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know where Martinez and Canales went?
No, I don't know. I couldn't,
Okay.
they were out of my view. The last time I saw them was when Page was asking Martinez if he was hit, and he goes, yeah, I'm okay, I got hit, I'm okay. They're in that hallway right
But
there.
you could just hear them coming down?
I can see them.
Okay,
We
you
can see them,
see
yeah,
them?
you can see them. Yeah.
About how far are they from you, down the hall?
Maybe 50 yards? No, that's just wrong. About 25 to 30 feet, 25 to 30 yards
25 to 30
Yeah.
yards down the hallway?
down the hallway.
Okay.
They're in actually the hallway that runs from that back door to the front door.
Okay. So you guys exit, and then who started calling for the SWAT team?
I want to say either I broke or Coronado broke. One of us broke because, like I said, we weren't getting service. So we walked out, and I want to say I called, but I don't know if I called to activate the SWAT team.
Okay.
I called the dispatch.
Now, during the break that you guys went outside, were there still
No
rounds
more,
being
no.
fired? Okay. How long do you think you guys were out there for?
And welcome, Rosalind Duke Raiders. You are coming in at the time where we finally get to hear from the defendant in this case in a matter of speaking. We are getting the first interview of Officer Adrian Gonzales. He is a resource officer for the high school in Uvalde, Texas, and he was one of the first officers on scene during the Uvalde incident. He has been charged with 29 counts of child endangerment and recklessness. Basically, the state's case is he could have done something to stop it, but according to what he is saying and the timeline, he wasn't even at the school in time to stop him from getting inside. So it's been interesting because the state brought this video up. He's coming off as incredibly credible. He corrects himself when he thinks, you know what, I misjudged that 50 yards. I think it was 20 to 30 yards. So he's coming off as very credible.
Maybe 20, 30 minutes.
20, 30 minutes? Was there radio traffic going back and forth?
Yeah, there was a lot of radio traffic.
Okay.
I know one of the traffics I heard somebody said, call as many agencies as you can.
Okay. But you don't recall who it was? No. Okay. Now, during those 20 to 30 minutes, you said you heard 7 to 9 rounds while you were approaching?
No puppets on this particular trial, but there will be Mo Possum shenanigans on Saturday because I will need to laugh.
In the building, right? That's when the glass is breaking that you said on the site?
Yes.
Okay. And then you went
No,
inside?
7 around, 9 inside.
Inside?
Yes, outside was
You
more.
heard 13 to 14 outside?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then this was inside?
Because I know Chief out of London stayed close in the hallway, and we're trying to, I remember talking to, I want to say Officer Salcedo, and there was a female trooper that was with them, and I told them to stay where they're at because glass, they were shooting out the window. And if you look from that window that's broken, there's a hallway, classroom hallway, and then there's another one. And I want to say Lieutenant Hernandez came up there, and I told him to keep the other hallway clear because that had a straight shot, line of fire, so nobody, nobody else, none of the blue guys can get there. So I told him, keep that area open. So.
Okay. When you come back outside and you guys radio for the SWAT team and you're requesting assistance.
And just for a note, if you guys are new here, this is an incredibly rough trial. Take times and breaks if you need it. I never want a view more than I want you to be okay. So I do want you to be mindful of that. And if you are new to this trial, I did a breakdown just of my notes this weekend. It is a longer stream, but if you want to kind of bypass a lot of the emotional testimony, and I do a breakdown at the end of the day with just my notes and make that a separate video. So if you want to bypass sort of all of the emotional stuff, you can catch up. I do read my notes at the end of the trial. Yeah, this isn't really the stream or the trial to do puppets, which is why I will be happy when we are back to just regular dumpster fire humans trial.
You guys were out there for 20 to 30 minutes. Was there any more, did you hear any more gunshots?
No more.
So everything just got quiet?
Quiet, yes.
Was there teachers running out, or could you see any students in the hallway?
No.
Okay. So initially when you guys made entry, the doors were closed?
The doors were
lights were off?
Yes, lights were off, yes.
No kids were?
No kids were running around. The thing is, on the lockdown, it's everything quiet. They hide, take cover, and complete silence. We teach them, if they have cell phones, turn them off or silence them. Mostly the older kids, they'll start texting family, so that's kind of one of the things that we preach in the in-service, because we teach this program in the in-service, that, hey, the secure, the hold, and the lockdown, So, yeah, and that's on our Raptor system. It's like I said, every employee at the school district is required to be on it. That way they can, they can be outside and the coach can hit that alarm and put that whole.
And if you are new to this trial, there were a lot of things that went wrong. This was not a singular failure. There were levels and levels of failure from multiple different areas. The school doors, the external doors were left unlocked. The internal doors that were supposed to be unlocked, the teachers were issued magnets so that they could defeat the locking mechanism. The Raptor system did not give the teachers an alert until after the gunman was already in the school. So teachers that were not close to this weren't told to go on lockdown by the administration. And the Raptor information came out much later. So there were a lot of failures that happened this day.
School on lockdown and not do anything, can just be there because they have firsthand knowledge of what's going on.
Okay.
When they're outside, the coach can actually get on that Raptor system and lock down the school from his location. He doesn't have to call the main office or the principal, say, hey, we're gonna go on lockdown. He can lock it down and everybody, it's a mass text, it'll get a mass alert. Your phone bill goes off and it gives you an alert.
So any faculty
Any
member,
faculty
police
member.
officer, any employee?
Any school district employee can set it off.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on school, the Uvalde Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, none other than have access. You have to be a school employee to have that, so.
All right. So what happened after, you guys were out there 20, 30 minutes, what happened after that?
Just the radio traffic back and forth. I went and checked on Officer Ruben Reese because he told us that his wife called him, Miss Mireles, and that she was hit and she was dying.
You went to go check on him?
I checked on him. He was in one of the back of the patrol. I want to say Lieutenant Baragas's unit. He was sitting there with Lieutenant Hernandez. I was trying to calm.
Because he had already gotten.
Because he got a call from his wife and Detective Rodriguez and Lieutenant Hernandez. He tried to make entry and they held him back from going in. And they took his pistol, his duty pistol away because he wanted to go in. So after he received that phone call, so they actually had to take his gun away and sit him down. So
What happened after that?
I want to say we started pulling kids out from the first classroom. If you look at on this side, there's the first window. We opened that window and we pulled kids out.
Okay.
And what we did, we pulled kids down, we just told them to run.
Okay.
There was officers there and maybe some family members, they were running too.
Okay.
And then we came to this one and I want to say it was myself, Donald Page, and I want to say, I just know his last name Gonzales, he's a Border Patrol agent. He broke that window.
Okay.
And once again, he showed you on a paper which windows that they were evacuating the kids? Is that
Yes.
correct? And which windows were those?
Windows on the west side of school.
On the opposite side of where you
Yes.
saw the glass breaking out with the shots fired?
You know, it was these windows to these classrooms.
Thank you.
Broke that window and then we pulled kids out of there and we just went strategically all the way down, pulling kids out of the windows, breaking windows.
When you guys
Now, as far as I know, they were given magnets for the interior doors. As to why the exterior doors were unlocked, we haven't been given a straight answer other than it had been relayed to maintenance that outside doors needed maintenance, needed the locking mechanisms looked at. But there's no official record. Now, the school seems to be more that they would see a janitor in passing and tell them about something rather than making an official work order. So it's really not clear as to why the exterior doors were left open.
were pulling kids out of the classrooms through the windows, did you notice that any of the kids were injured?
No, none of the kids were injured, yes.
So all of the kids that were on these windows, they were removed safely?
They were removed safely, yes.
Okay, and they were taken to the front of the?
They were taken towards that gate where that I came in.
Okay. During all this time, is there any more gunfire that
No.
you hear? Okay.
Somebody came up and said there's gun, I guess the Vortex team was coming up, and I wanna say somebody said there's gunfire, but I didn't hear it. But somebody said it, you know, just, who said it, I can't tell you, because like I said, there was at least 30 to 40 people hunkered down right there at that entrance, you know, just people waiting to, you know, get there and stuff like that. You know, I guess the Vortex team was waiting for their guys, and, you know, troopers were getting there. Everybody, it was just a big old cluster, you know.
Mhm. Okay. What happened after that?
After that, I guess the Vortex team got there, and I want to say I ran from this location. There's another part of the school here that runs a fence line.
Yes.
I ran there, and I went and got some master keys, Canadian master keys to the classroom.
Who did you grab them from?
Cubish, I know he's one of the mains guy, one of the second guy in command with the mains. I know his last name is Cubish.
Cubish.
Yeah. I actually met him by the cafeteria.
Okay.
Met him there, and he gave me the key, and he said, "They're our master or our something." He said, "One of those will open all the doors."
Okay.
And those for those of you that are unaware or have just gotten into this trial, the officers were unaware that the teachers did not lock their door. If they are following standard operating procedures, these are doors that lock from the outside with a key and have to be opened by a key. They swing out, so officers can't bust them in. They needed a key or special tools to get these doors open. They were all under the assumption that these doors were locked. However, after the fact, we learned through investigation that the doors were unlocked.
Now, you were by the door for 20 to 30 minutes, and then you said you went to go.
Auntie M, this is a criminal case. Now, the no duty to protect only applies to adults in the state of Texas. And I believe that Mr. Gonzales is being charged under a special code of the education statute, which states, or he's basically under different liability because of being a school police resource officer. So he has extra liability to protect children during a school. So that's kind of that. No one tried to see if the doors were unlocked. This was a terrible, terrible cluster F.
Check
Checked up on
Ruben Reese.
Ruben Reese,
Yes.
and you said he was with Lieutenant Vargas?
Lieutenant Hernandez. He was in Lieutenant Vargas' car.
Okay. And Lieutenant Vargas is called Mariano Vargas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where were they stationed at?
There were, I want to say their vehicle, there was teachers parking right here, there was somewhere in that area.
So there was teachers already coming into the.
No, the teachers were already parked there.
Oh, okay, they were already parked
Right
there.
there, yeah.
Okay, so he parked behind the vehicles?
You know, I want to say he's parked somewhere in there, his vehicle's actually still there.
Okay.
It's a black Tahoe.
How long were you there with Ruben Reese and Lieutenant Vargas?
10 minutes maybe.
Just assessing Ruben
Just,
Reese?
yeah, making sure he was okay, because he was like, she's in there, she's bleeding, maybe she called me, I could Ruben calm down, you know, trying to calm him down. But, you know, he was like, I guess in a daze, he was just.
Okay. Is that where you ran to go meet Cubish for the?
Yes, because we have our school radios, and Lieutenant Hernandez called me and said, hey, can you go get keys from the office? So I tried to call Officer Gonzales on our school radio. She wasn't breaking in the location she was at, and we ended up meeting there at the actual office. And she was looking for keys, and I went and got them from Cubish in the front, so.
Okay. So after you grabbed the keys, where did you go from there?
I went back to
the front?
to actually back right here, and I met Ranger Kendall, and I gave him the keys.
Okay, so you gave the keys to Ranger Kendall?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We were able to buy his testimony. So it's very interesting. He gets the call on his radio of a 1050, the car accident, while he's over at the park about 5 blocks away from the elementary school. He gets in his car to go check it out since it's near the elementary school. As he's turning on the car and getting ready to put his lights on, he gets over the radio, shots fired. He starts hauling butt. He is a couple blocks away from actually reaching the school when he gets another radio transmission. He's running toward the school. He gets as close to the school as he can and sees one of the entrance gates wide open. Now, it's never supposed to be locked. He drives into the back area because all he's had at this time is that someone is running toward the school and they're armed. He drives around that way and sees a woman running toward the school and she falls down. He goes to her because he thinks maybe all he's heard at this point is someone's running toward the school with a firearm. He doesn't know man, woman, child. As soon as he gets over to her, she tells him he's in all black and she's pointing to where she thinks the gun person is. As soon as he relays or tries to relay on the radio, he's in all black. The gunman has already gotten into the school. He and the other officers that have arrived in the meantime go in and attempt to engage this assailant. They get shot at. 2 officers are injured, so they post up a perimeter and wait and call in for SWAT. So there's a lot of things that went wrong. There was a lot of lack of management. So what did he did what he trained to do, and now he's criminally charged too. I feel like most of people think about the chief and the situation is from the media and all the info. Yeah. So this is a cluster of a cluster. I have a 2-hour stream where I went over just the first week of this cluster F of a trial, and we are on day 6, and we still don't have any reason why this gentleman is uniquely responsible for the crimes the shooter committed.
Okay, what happened after that?
They made entry. Before they made entry, we set up EMS right there at the door, at least 3 or 4 stretchers. And then I grabbed some gloves and they made entry. They said it was clear and they started pulling bodies out and we started, pulling kids out.
During this whole time that you're grabbing the keys, did you ever hear any gunfire?
No.
So the last time you heard gunfire was when you were in here?
Yes, when Lieutenant Martinez got
And
hit.
you guys pulled back?
Yes.
To the rear? Do you remember who was with Ryan Kendall?
No.
And they made entry through the side door, right? On this one?
Yes, they made entry through there.
How long do you think they were in there for?
I was in there for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then they started pulling everybody out. One of the border patrol agents said only medics are allowed in there, to work on kids. And when I walked out, they were working on a misdemeanor. That's right there at the door.
And
That door, yes.
okay. So when Kendall made entry with the team, did you go in there with him?
No.
You didn't? No. You stayed on the outside?
I stayed outside with the EMTs,
Okay.
myself and Detective Rodriguez.
Did you hear any more gunfire after that?
I heard maybe 2 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Okay. And they were coming from inside the school?
Yes. Somebody said, hold the line, hold the radio, because they were making entry, so,
Okay.
right before they made entry. say that's gonna be Officer Michael Water that made that remark. And the voice is kind of, he has this distinct voice that, you know, I can see him behind me, I know he's talking, so I worked with him for several years, so.
Officer Michael,
Michael Wally with the
Wally?
Police Department. 320.
when they made entry, you stayed by the door, and you said, did they return to the door and start handing you kids, or did you go back in?
No, we actually went in and, I actually went in and tried to see if I could help, but they were just dragging bodies out, you know, taking kids out and stuff.
Who did you go in there with?
I just followed the group that went in, so there- nobody in particular. So I can tell you right now, I was probably the only CISD in there, besides Chief and I think just Chief. The Chief was I saw Chief in there, so,
Okay.
but I was nowhere near him, so.
So you two, Chief Arado and yourself, were the only ones from,
I want to say
From
from school
Violet
district that was in there, yes.
but you didn't go in with the initial?
No, I didn't go
entry
with
team?
entry team, no.
You just waited?
Waited, yes.
Okay. Did anybody come back to open the door, or say it was clear, or anything like that?
They cleared the building, and then I remember giving somebody the keys because they wanted a secondary search to clear the rest of the classrooms.
Okay.
So I know the guys that cleared the hallway where they made the hallway that they came in through. I gave the keys to the guys, and they cleared those. Or I gave mine to Chief Arredondo. I gave them the keys. I go, here's the master keys. There was 2 master keys out, so they were checking them. so.
Okay. Ranger Kendall had one of the sets? of
Yes.
keys? Okay. How long do you think you waited when they made entry? How long do you think they were?
Gail, he was at the park because the seniors were kind of having a fun end of school kind of thing. And the park is kind of known to have drunks that hang out there. So he was assigned to go with the seniors and make sure that they weren't approached by any kind of randos, and just showed that there was a police presence so the kids could play at this park that had been seeing more kind of random drunk people hanging out in it.
In there for?
Maybe a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, yeah.
Before the initial clearing, right?
Yes.
Did you ever fire any rounds
No, sir.
during that conference? Okay, so you didn't fire any rounds?
No.
What were you, is that the uniform you're wearing?
Yes.
Okay, the exact same thing?
Same thing. Mine is a tourniquet. I
Okay,
gave a tourniquet to one of the EMTs and one of the Portec guys, and we were grabbing as many as we can, so I gave them mine.
okay.
Because they were prepping, you know, for the victims.
When you were approached to school, are you guys issued a rifle?
No, sir. We don't
So,
have rifles.
just your sidearm?
Just your sidearm.
And is that issued, or is that?
That's an issue.
Okay, what kind
It's a Glock 40
of,
by a Gen 5,
model 22?
Model 22.
And how many magazines do you carry?
3 magazines of 15, and then I got 1 in the chain.
Okay. So 46 rounds total?
Yes, sir.
During the entire course of when you first drove in and made contact with the female coach that fell, and then she's giving you direction of where he's at, She never gave you a description?
She just said he was wearing all black.
He was wearing, okay, so she told you he was
Yeah, she
wearing all
was,
black?
he's over there, he's wearing, by the parking lot, wearing all black. And then
Okay.
that's when this round started going on.
Okay. Did you ever see the subject?
No, I never saw him.
Okay. Did anybody that was with you get a glimpse of him?
As far as I know, no.
Do you know if anybody on the entrance here was wearing a body camera? Detective Page, Chief Arredondo?
Maybe Sergeant Coronado was wearing one. I can't guarantee you, but maybe Sergeant Coronado and Sergeant Canales. Because Sergeant Page is the sergeant of, I guess he does internal affairs and stuff like that, and the hiring and stuff like that. So I don't know if they carry, him and Lieutenant Martinez, I don't know if they got a body cam available.
And they're both with
With
one
the Uvalde Police Department.
Okay. That's what's
But Sergeant Canales and maybe Sergeant Coronado may have body cams on.
Yeah, I don't believe that they had phased in body cams at this point for school resource officers. Those other officers might have supplied their own, or because they were higher rank, had them.
I'd like to just clarify something, that way we're all on the same sheet. So when you come up here, right, sir,
Yes.
you never see that individual anywhere?
Never see
You
him.
never see him
No.
drop anything?
No.
Okay. And as you're entering that door, right, you're hearing gunfire, correct?
No, we never entered the store.
So you never went inside the school?
Never went inside the school till I got coverage over here, then we made entry.
Okay. But as you're standing out here, you're hearing,
I heard,
I want to ask you about the statement he just made, that I never went in until I got coverage.
Yes.
We have been talking for quite some time about cover as a wall or something of that nature. Cover
Yes.
from gunfire.
Mhm.
But it's used differently here, is it not?
Yes.
And what does, I didn't go in until I got coverage, what does that mean to you as a police officer?
He didn't make entry until there was other officers covering the west door.
So coverage means other officers
Yes.
covering for you.
Yes.
Except that the other officers were already there, and the officers at the west door had seen the gunman go in and didn't take a shot. So the state is being incredibly disingenuous as to the real factors in this case. They are calculating the hell out of this.
And he didn't say west door, is that correct? He just said coverage.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
or like 3 or 4, and that's what, no, when I went there, no, there's no gunfire.
right. I guess what I'm just trying to make sure I understand is, when you guys went in, right,
Yes.
you were hearing gunfire?
No, not at that time, no.
The gunfire is
Yeah.
done?
Done, and then when we tried, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what Lieutenant Martinez did, then, 7 to 9 rounds go off, and it's, like I said, it's a high, I know it's, I can't say it for sure it's an AR-15, but it's a high-power rifle, you can hear it,
And do you guys take the hallway? What I mean by take the hallway, you guys are inside in the hallway, right?
Yes.
So do you take that hallway? In other words, are you there? Are you ready to go if he comes out?
Yes,
Okay. And then, because there's no radio traffic, and the radios aren't working, do all y'all come out, or just you?
me, Coronado, and I wanna say Page come out. Chief stands in the area where,
Welcome, Baker Raiders. You are coming in during the first interview of Officer Adrian Gonzales. He is the defendant in this case, and he is explaining what he and his fellow officers did on that day. He was one of the first responding officers. He did go in and engage the suspect, and wasn't able to take him down. But was able to help get children out of the school and find the master key and the map to give them an idea of how the classrooms were situated and how to get into the classrooms. So he did a lot, and he's kind of explaining his own timeline. I would recommend hearing it from his own words, because it really puts into perspective what he knew, when he knew it, and basically by the time he was there and able to do anything about it, the gunman had already gotten into the school. He never saw the gunman. He never had any opportunity to intercept him. Why he's on trial, we do not know. Where the state's going, we have not a clue. We did have one outburst today from a family member. The state's been leaning heavily into a very emotional, very highly charged testimony. So do protect yourself. This is, a hard case. I do notes-only updates at the end of this stream. So if you do have to leave, I'll put up a separate video. It'll be about 20 minutes, and I'll explain what went on today. And you don't have to listen to the kind of awful testimony. So take care of yourself, because we are getting testimony from an officer who was one of the first responders at the scene, and also the defendant.
Where he's trying to make contact with them. He's trying to talk to him, come out and talk to him.
Okay.
That was the last of traffic.
Okay, is he inside the building?
He's inside the building.
So just inside the door, would you
Yeah,
say?
right there, yeah.
Okay, so then the only one left in there at that time is the chief, and then it's you
Yeah.
three are outside.
Yeah, we have the door open and we're holding it.
Okay. And then you're telling us that as you're standing there, you're hearing more gunfire?
No,
The gunfire is over.
the gunfire's over. Yes.
All right. I just wanted to clarify that. Your dispatch, will they have audio video recording?
They should have radio recording of it, so,
Or you would come out and say, hey,
yeah,
maybe you mentioned that you would call for backup?
yes. And I wanna say I think Lieutenant Vargas was the first unit I saw, and I told him to come to me, but he, went the other way, and then Sergeant Page came up to my location.
When the rounds are being fired, sir, are you, I don't need the paper, I'm just trying to, as the rounds are being fired, is there a reason why you don't fire?
Because I don't see where the rounds are coming from.
That way we can
Yeah,
explain.
I know they're coming from the back over here, I just don't know where they're coming from. So,
And you know anybody else that you know of at that time fired?
He's not being interviewed by responding officers. These are Texas Rangers who arrived after the fact, or very close to after the fact. And the Texas Rangers seem to have taken supremacy over this investigation. So he is being interviewed by an officer who was very there after the fact. Yeah, Gail, the majority of the rapid fire and copious amount of shots happened within the first 2 minutes. Unfortunately, this monster went in, shot a heck of a lot, and then basically stopped for a while. Oh, that's right. Everything over here. Love Collective Chat Intelligence. He responded to, and he was assigned to investigate the police-involved shooting.
Back, right? Because nobody.
not that, as far as
At least you.
at least me, I did not fire. Yeah, I did
And
not.
that's because-
I didn't see them. I heard them, but I didn't see them. And they're echoing, so I don't know. I know they're coming from the back. I just don't know where from.
When you guys made that entrance in the hallway, there was 4 of you. Did anyone in that group of 4 say, hey, we need to go down this hallway and we need to find this shooter?
No.
No? Did you think about that, or did it ever cross your mind?
It did cross our mind, but we just never. Nobody ever made. We were just covering each other. That's what basically what we're doing. Holding. Covering Chief and covering Page, and then putting on the covering us. So. I want to say there was only one AR, and that was Sergeant Gonzales had the AR. Everybody else had pistols.
Did anybody ever suggest that when Lieutenant Martinez was hit, hey, we need to go grab Lieutenant Martinez, or we need to?
No, because he was actually mobile.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, he was
so,
moving.
yeah, so it was moving, and I wanna say Lieutenant Vargas,
Mhm.
called for EMS.
Okay, was Lieutenant Vargas with them?
He was in the back, I don't know, I didn't see him, so I
Okay.
can't tell you for sure.
You could just hear.
I know he was there because he was the first one that I saw from my location where I was parked,
Mhm.
and I told him to come to me
Mhm.
for cover, because he had the bigger unit, and, but he could,
We have that word cover and unit there, correct?
Correct.
That he saw Pargas, I told him to come to me for cover because he has a bigger unit. Would you tell us what that means?
From what I observed in the interview, I understood that at some point, he may have wanted to use the Lieutenant Vargas's vehicle because it was a bigger unit, bigger vehicle, has coverage if he needed it.
And so he called Pargas over so he could have more cover.
That's correct. But then Lieutenant Vargas went to the west side door, and that's when Sergeant Donald Page went over to Mr. Gonzales and met him at the south door.
The next car that came was Page.
I believe so.
he deterred and went to that area, and then Sergeant Page is the one that came to me.
And of course, you know, because it's a lockdown, there's still kids
Yes.
in the classrooms.
So that's our concern. Do we fire and, you know, do kids get hit? You know, so we don't know the status of it. I tried to call the office. I know when I was out there and seeing that the kids were in class, and they kept telling me that there was kids in that classroom.
Mhm.
So when we came out, which was a school radio.
Now, when you hear the gunshots inside, do you hear any screaming?
No,
Do you hear any teachers calling for help?
no, nothing. By the time we went in, it was quiet.
Mhm.
So I don't know, like I said, if they were injured or they were doing what the lockdown is, keeping quiet, so.
Mhm. You know approximately what time the lockdown came into effect through the text?
Check if it's on the rapture.
Yes, it's very interesting because the state seems to want him to run in and it's going to sound very crass, but basically be a bullet sponge, but also, you know, be able to do all of this stuff. There were a lot of things that went wrong, and not having good training, not having good leadership. It came out it came out by the last witness that even though the state has claimed that this officer had official active shooter training, they basically, now allegedly, he didn't have the alert standard training. In fact, that is not required of all school officers until 2026 or this year. So he didn't have the gold star standard sort of active shooter training. They had kind of stuff that they had cobbled together themselves, but he didn't have access to the training he was supposed to have as a school resource officer.
Sometimes when the alerts go off, they kind of,
Is that a nap?
that's an app, it's a raptor.
How do you spell it?
It's $1132.
At 11:32, and Raptor is,
R8,
Mhm.
let's see. Oh, that's it, right? So.
R alert.
R alert, yeah.
And you said at what time? 11?
11:32, the school goes on a lockdown. Doesn't give me,
And
the
that
teachers
was-
can message and stuff like that, say,
Let me see if I can get back to the timeline because the state is really doing the timeline quite incredibly wrong. But basically, by the time that the Raptor alert had gone out, according to teachers and teacher testimony, this was after the gunshots had already started being fired. The Raptor alert was late. Had the teachers waited for the Raptor alert or audible sounds from the intercom, it would have been too late. This all happened very rapidly, and the state has not been clear on the timeline. They've been very, very wishy-washy. At sometimes, Adrian Gonzales has 3 minutes to hang out and play around. If you look closer at the timeline, he didn't even get on or into the school perimeter, the school area, until this person was already shooting at the school.
Say one of the teachers, hey, I sent John Doe to the counselor's office. Does somebody have them? And whoever the counselor can respond, yes, I got her. Or some of the teachers say,
So it's a mass?
it's a mass, yeah. All the teachers are required to log in and set up an account, to their school, so.
Okay.
And just to be clear, there was nobody assigned to Robb Elementary on that day.
Nobody was assigned to Rob.
Is that a normal?
Yes, that's a normal.
Okay. And
And usually we have an early guy, the early shift is from 7 to 9. From 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
okay.
Okay, that's the early person. The early person does the rounds outside of the high school. Goes and visits the other campuses in the morning.
So there is not one school
There-
that has a permanent officer, as far as you know, here in Uvalde.
The only one that has a permanent officer that's she's stationed there is Officer Flores and ourselves. We're at the high school. That's our home base. So, but there's days that, hey, you need to go, the traffic, hey, there's a pursuit coming in. Go stand by Rob or go stand by dual language. We don't get involved in the pursuit. We just make sure nobody comes in and out, because sometimes they just put the campus on secure. On a secure means that if you're inside a building, you're free to move within the building, but nobody outside the building. On a lockdown, everything, lights off, everything out of sight, no communication or nothing. The teachers are prompted, the principal's prompted to have a password with the teachers and only share it with the teachers. And when he comes on to that intercom, he'll say, okay, password so-and-so, we're good, the secure's been lifted. But he also, the administrators, whoever sets that alarm, can put the school off of lockdown, can close it. So.
And does Uvalde ISD PD have non-commissioned security guard at any of the schools?
We have a security guard at the high school,
Non-commissioned?
non-commissioned.
Just,
He's just a security, that's his, yeah, he's part of the school district PD, but he's just a security guard. And all he does is basically man the gates, and we'll utilize it for security at the local football games, basketball games, whatever we need, so. He has our authority, he just doesn't have the arresting power, so,
does it carry a weapon?
no.
And who's answering?
That's gonna be Chris Sanchez. And he's always at the high school. He's always stationed at the high school. That's his campus.
I am going to speed us up just a little bit because we're a little behind.
So you've been assigned to the Uvalde High School?
Yes.
Correct? On that particular day, or that's your normal?
That's my normal campus, yes.
From 9 to 6?
It
Is that
depends.
the- Okay,
Well,
that can
because-
change?
Yeah, because we have the early shift, which is 7 to 4,
Mhm.
and then we got 8 to 5, and then we have 9 to 6.
How often does it change?
It changes every week. Like this week, I would've been the 9 to 6 guy, so
Okay.
next week I would've been the 7 to 4 guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it goes backwards?
Yeah, it goes, yes. And the only ones that actually utilize that shift are Officer Ruby Gonzalez, Officer Ruben Reese, and myself. The lieutenant usually comes in at 8, chief comes in at 8, and Cecilia, Officer Flores, who's stationed at the Morales, she comes in at 8.
Okay.
Sometimes, we've had an incident where the traffic control at Dalton, the principal refuses to put somebody out there crossing guard, so we do that. So lately, it's been since I think after the holidays, the 8 o'clock guy comes in early and does the traffic control at Dalton from 7 to like 7:45.
Okay.
So we do that, and then we go to the high school.
Okay. Are you allowed to leave the high school?
Yeah.
To go patrol,
Yes,
say I want to go to the junior
yeah.
high?
And then what I was saying, the early guy, the 7 to 4 guys, does the early rounds, visit all the other campuses, and then the late guy visits all the campuses, so.
Okay.
Unless there's something major going on, and like I said, sometimes all 3 or 4 of us are you know, are have something going on, we're all working something together, you know? So there's not, sometimes we don't do rounds, you know, because we're house there, with the administrator, so.
Where's the main office for the school district?
The
Police
main,
department?
it's gonna be there at the Uvalde High School,
At the Uvalde High School, that's your main office?
and it's gonna be number 1 Kyle Trail.
Number 1, Kyle Trail?
Yes, sir.
Dolly, after the outburst, we did have a little bit longer lunch, so there might have been a request for a mistrial. We're not sure. We haven't been getting a lot of the sidebar or a lot of the out of the presence of the jury arguments. I don't know if that's something that the judge prescribed in this case, that Court TV not cover it, or if Court TV is choosing not to cover it. Not sure. But as far as we know, nothing really happened, and we went on to another witness. So, not sure as of right now. And Callie, there was an outburst. One of the family members, and look, I'm usually not a tinfoil hat person, but the state has been incredibly leaning into the emotionally difficult and hard to listen to testimony. The state's attorney made a rather flippant remark. Some of the big topics in this case have been the fatal funnel. So basically a choke point in which officers could basically make themselves a bullet sponge because they're in a narrow space and they're offering an open target to officers. So fatal funnel and things. And it's come out during the totality of this trial that not only did Adrian Gonzales approach and engage in trying to engage the suspect in the hallway in Robb Elementary, but he was responsible for getting the master keys and the map that helped them facilitate Bortak making a plan to enter. But he was also helping the children who were stuck on this hallway, but not in the affected classroom with the shooter, get kids out. So it has been very, very kind of confusing to general audiences why he was charged. Well, the state prosecutor made a rather flippant remark about if Adrian Gonzales had got there in time and engaged the shooter when he was outside the school. Mind you, there were 3 officers that had a clear shot and didn't take it, that he wouldn't need a key or he wouldn't need a map. This has been 6 days of basically the state going, see these dead children? We're the only one that care about these dead children. Won't you please feel bad about these dead children? So they have continuously amped up the emotional kind of rhetoric, the emotional photos, all of these emotional factors. And he made that flippant remark. And one of the teachers was married to one of the police officers. She lost her life. They had to remove this officer, remove his gun, and place him in the back of a patrol car because he wanted to go in, I think, as all of us. And she rightfully, all right, the state wanted this, in my opinion. We're going to tangent off just a bit. The state wanted this because they have not presented a case. We are 6 days into this, and we have heard not one iota of how Adrian Gonzales is primarily and uniquely responsible for this cluster F. We've heard the opposite. In fact, that he engaged, with the shooter, that he attempted to get children, or that he got children out, that 2 of his colleagues were shot in attempting to get this gunman out of the way. That he was in charge of calling SWAT. He was in charge of finding the keys and finding the map. The state wants this unstated, implied pressure. They want every single one of those jury members to remember that woman's outburst and put themselves into a position where they're going to say, he's not guilty, but how do we not punish someone? How do we not, how do we let someone go with all this pain? This is pressure. It's the same thing that happened look, I'm not getting political, so y'all, but the Derek Chauvin case, the Rittenhouse case, when the media was trying to figure out the jury, this is this implied social pressure that if you let this man go, how are you going to explain this to the parents? And the state, again, is really pulling on those heartstrings. This prosecutor is worse than Binger, and I never thought I would actually say that, but this is like if Binger gets more obnoxious as he grows older.
The chief has his office there, along with his administrative secretary, and we call it the squad room, where she's at, and then all three, Lieutenant Hernandez, Officer Reese, Officer Gonzales, and myself have our own independent offices.
Okay.
And we're scattered throughout the inside of the high school.
So the school district police department, you said is the chief Armando, lieutenant, 3 police officers, plus the female that recently just left?
Yes, 4 officers.
Okay, so it would have been a total of 6, like you said?
Yes.
But right now it's 5?
Yes,
Okay. And how many marked units do you have?
6 units.
6 units? So every officer...
Well, actually, there's only, the 3 Ford Fusions are marked, and Officer Reese is marked, but he has a gold decals.
Okay.
And chief and the lieutenants are just exposed, red exposed. They have red and blue lights and sirens, but no decals on them.
Because they don't...
Wait a minute, we're giving our police officials Ford Fusions? I have one of those and it sucks. It goes from 0 to 60 in 3.5 weeks. No wonder he couldn't get there in time. Giblets. I thought you get a Crown Vic or something with, I don't know, some horse. Like, I don't know anything about cars, but I'm going to tell you the Ford Fusion sucks balls, okay? I have one.
Traffic stop.
We don't get it. We
Okay.
don't.
So just to be clear, every independent school district police officer has a way to be mobile?
Yes.
Okay, and they're all take-home units?
They're all take-home
Okay,
units.
so at any given time, you can respond from your house if
Yes.
there's an emergency? And you get, that's within your policy, I guess your police department allows you, hey, you hear something major?
Yes.
You can respond?
Yes. Yeah. And most of the time, we'll hit the traffic, the radar traffic, and we have like a group text and, hey, there's a pursuit coming in.
Mhm.
They're coming in and they're going to be by either the dual languages is on 90 West. It's
Mhm.
closer, it's a block away from 90 West,
Mhm.
about 1,000 blocks, so it's there. So if we know it's coming that way, we'll start going to that area. If it's coming off of 83 South, we'll generate towards the Rob area. The early guy that's just driving around patrolling, well, that's their job. You know, if we need to come out more, we'll pull the one that's doing the traffic at Dalton, we'll go assist, you know.
Okay. Going back to when you and the officers were breaking the windows here by the teacher parking lot,
Yes.
did you notice that there was anything on the ground? Anything that
No.
someone may have dropped?
No, not until after the fact, somebody says that, hey, there's a bag there that, and it's full of AR magazines, but which officer said that? I couldn't tell you right now. Possibly wearing green, maybe the camouflage, I don't know.
Okay.
So,
All right. But it was after everything, kids were getting
yeah,
evacuated?
kids were getting evacuated. The last classroom, I was closer, I was checking on Ruben again, and I was more towards the back. So, the kids were running, so I was just going to go run towards it.
When you guys were over here on the last
That's
class?
one of the last classrooms, yes.
Okay, because they were pulling them out of the window?
Yes.
So you're kind of guiding them?
Yeah.
Hey, run this
Yeah,
way.
on that last classroom, I was kind of further back and I was guiding the kids out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many windows you guys cleared? How many classrooms?
I want to say 4.
4?
I say 4, you know, but it could have been more.
Okay. And I'm not looking for a precise number.
Yeah, no, I want to say 4.
Okay,
We opened one, and I want to say I observed them break 3 windows.
okay. And this is after you guys came back outside to regroup?
Yeah.
When the shots were fired
Yeah.
inside?
When the fire, the shots, the no more there was no more firing.
You know who suggested, hey, let's
I
start?
want to say it was Sergeant Page,
Sergeant Page
Yeah.
said, okay.
and I want to say Corporal or Detective Landry too. His rank is a corporal with the Uvalde Police Department.
When you guys were doing this, did you ever see Lieutenant Martinez or Canales outside?
No,
Right, so-
I know, I heard the traffic, like I said, Lieutenant Vargas called for an ambulance to have one of the officers check,
Mhm.
and he got checked out, and I guess he came back and joined the crowd, so.
Okay.
So, but like, by then, it was massive, you know, there was officers everywhere, so.
Okay. So you exit, you're standing by the door, right? And then how many minutes go by before you guys start evacuating the kids, opening these windows?
I say maybe 15, 20 minutes we're out there,
Mhm.
and then we started pulling kids out, about 5 to 10 minutes after that.
Was that before or after you went to go check up on Grease and Lieutenant Vargas, because he was in the unit, right? With,
He was inside Lieutenant Vargas' unit,
unit.
yeah.
So did you clear the classrooms and then go check on Grease, or did you check on him first? and-
I wanna say we cleared some of the classrooms first, and then I went to go check on him.
Some of the classrooms?
Well, yeah, because then I went to go check on him after we cleared 2, and like I said, the other agencies started clearing them out.
Okay. So when you started clearing these windows, how many officers do you think are in the area already? Is it more than just you four?
Oh, yeah, there's
Okay,
at least 40 to 60.
okay.
Yeah.
So there was plenty of
Yes,
officers
yeah, yeah,
to help,
yeah.
and you went and checked up on?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanna say I helped with two of the, one window was like I said, the first classroom, the closest one to that door, back door, that's the one we opened, and we were let kids out, and I actually pulled the curtains. The teachers have curtains, I pulled the curtains out, the kids were getting tangled up.
Okay.
And then the second one, when they broke it,
Okay.
they broke it with a baton.
Mhm.
I wanna say he does undercover work for the Border Patrol. His last name's Gonzales, maybe Louis Gonzales.
Mhm.
He's a special agent, he's always driving an Impala, that's why I know who he is.
I mean, he's not doing undercover anymore or driving an Impala, I hope.
Okay.
And then Coronado started breaking with the baton. And I remember pulling kids out because the glass was broken. And then that's when I kind of went towards Ruben to make sure he was okay.
Mhm.
And then, like I said, I was further back with Lieutenant, and Lieutenant, he was inside the vehicle.
Mhm.
And then that's when they started pulling more kids out, and I just started guiding them.
Okay. And the vehicle's right behind the teacher parking lot?
I want to say the teachers are parked there, and I want to say maybe 1 or 2 rows of teachers, and Lieutenant Vargas' vehicle's there. It's a black Tahoe,
Okay.
all blacked out.
All right.
I don't even think it has decals on it.
Okay,
And it's an older model Tahoe.
all right. Commissioner Young? No? Is there anything you want to add or something you think you might want to know?
And now that I can sit back, I went tunnel vision, like I said, with the lady that was running. Like I said, they said they were running to the school, and that's where I saw, and, you know, I knocked in. You know, that was my mistake, but it was just the adrenaline rush going.
So the mistake was when he had because all he knows right now, again, he doesn't know man, woman, furry, Zimzer. It's 2022 at this point. He doesn't know who the person is that's running toward the school with a force multiplier. He sees a woman dressed in bright colors running toward the school. Again, he has no idea who this person's supposed to be. Then he sees her fall. So he got tunnel vision and went directly toward her because he saw someone running toward the school. At the moment he's driving up, the gunman is between 2 black cars. The gunman is dressed in all black. As Adrian Gonzales is driving parallel to the black parked cars, the gunman is in between them, hiding. So he went towards movement because all he knows is someone running. I don't know if this is where the state thinks that they've got the smoking gun. I'm not sure.
You know, shots fired and stuff like that, so it was just, you know. Because on the radio it said there was a lady shot in the head on Diaz Street, which is 2 blocks down, but I didn't know that the relationship on that, so.
So that call came in?
Also remember that the assailant, the monster, had shot his grandmother in the head just 2 streets away. So Officer Gonzales is getting, someone shot in the head over here, woman running. He doesn't know. The dispatch sounds chaotic. No one seems to know what they were doing. Even listening to 911 calls, it's the dispatch is incredibly chaotic in the background.
That call came in when the accident came in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it a few minutes apart?
I want to say it was within minutes of each other.
Okay.
I want to say the first call came in of a 1050,
Mhm.
a guy wrecked into the bar ditch.
Okay.
And then the call come out that he had a gun
Mhm.
and he was running towards the school.
Mhm.
So, and then they say, hey, there's also a lady shot in the head on Diaz Street. She's been
Mhm.
shot in the head, so.
Okay. Okay. So at the beginning of the interview, that 1050 that you're talking about, was that the pickup truck?
That's a pickup truck.
That
It
they're
was
calling in?
brown in color, almost
Okay,
like a.
so that's why you're responding to
Yes,
Rob Elementary
yes.
School? Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm responding because they say the guy's running to the school. I didn't respond to the accident. That's a PD traffic. I'm going over because they say this, the guy's going to the school and has a gun.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going, that's what I'm responding to the school.
Okay.
So from that bar ditch, he would have went into this gate, correct? And if he's walking and you're coming in, you saw the lady, so you really never saw him.
No.
I mean,
No, I have television on her. I shot at her. I went at her.
You said she's a female coach, right?
Female coach,
Short black hair?
short black hair,
Okay.
maybe named Natalie, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And she was wearing like a peach, maybe orange shirt,
Mhm.
maybe khaki shorts, white
Mhm.
shorts, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
But once you made contact with her, she kept telling you
Yeah,
he's running this way?
he's over there and he's by the teacher parking lot. He's
Mhm.
wearing black, and then that's when shots started going, but I never saw him.
So really, when you and now, so now I'm starting to understand that, so this is the building, right? This is the school. And teachers park like this, facing the wall?
Yes.
Okay.
Some
And you
going,
said-
some in reverse, some are
Okay.
facing forward. Yeah.
So they could be facing this way,
Yeah.
that way,
I
whatever.
want to say the last vehicle was a black vehicle.
Blank, okay. And you said there's 2 rows?
I want to say there may be a second row.
There might be a
Yeah.
second row, pretty spaced out?
Yes.
To give these
Yeah,
people maybe.
because I think
assuming-
the only, and like I said, I'm not saying for sure, but I think only the teachers that are housed in that back room
In this
and that building are the ones that park there.
Okay. But on occasion, you remember seeing that there may be a second?
Yeah, there may be a second row. Yeah.
So the fence line runs something like this, and then here, the horseshoes.
Yeah, for the
Like
school
the-
buses.
the half moon, and then the fence comes down this way, and you have let's call it a culvert, that concrete
Yeah, yeah.
drainage ditch?
Yes.
Okay, and the truck's facing this way, right?
The actual front of the truck is
Yes.
facing southbound.
Southbound?
Yes.
That way?
Yes.
Okay, the tree line? Okay. And this gate's wide open?
Yes, that's the gate I come through.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, the female's about right here, the door, and then there's a walkway, because there's a pavilion, I know that. I
There's
saw
a tree
big
there. Yeah, there's a tree.
Pretty big tree, right, gives a lot of shade.
I want to
I saw it
say,
yesterday, so.
there's 2 trees. There's a tree more closer, I want to say there's a tree closer to the basketball court. But
Okay.
that one, the one I'm talking about, maybe about 12 inches wide, 13 inches wide.
Because there's a sidewalk right here, right, in front of the classrooms, that goes into this door?
Sidewalk,
Or is there trees here?
there's trees there,
Okay, and then you have vehicles.
vehicles.
So you come
As-
in, you hear there's a subject.
As hard as it was to make this argument, the defense has brought up that the quick action of this officer and other officers with him to keep him pinned down in rooms 111 and 112 did save the school from him being able to go and wander through hallways. That doesn't lessen the enormous tragedy of 19 children and 2 teachers losing their lives, but it does put into perspective just how much worse it could be had they not challenged him and kept him in those rooms. As devastating as this loss was, it could have been worse, and that's horrifying.
Running
Yes.
into the school. Did they get a description?
No.
Just,
She gave me the description.
she gave you the
She was-
description, or the radio?
No, no description.
So when you're coming in, you notice this
I
vehicle
see the
crashed
vehicle,
out,
yes.
and then she's wearing orange or
And she's
peach.
right, yeah,
So you drive in all the way up here, right?
yes.
Do you think it's possible that maybe when you were driving up, the subject could have been behind cars and
He
trees?
could have been, like I said,
But you never saw
I
it?
never saw him.
Okay. Okay, now I understand. And that weird curve is right here, right?
Yeah, and I, like I said, I never saw him make entry,
Mhm.
so, but that's the gate I came in because it was wide open, you know?
So it just makes sense to go into there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because my thing is, the radio traffic said he's running towards the school.
Mhm.
And, you know, the girl, the coach, short hair, you know, I wanna say maybe
Somebody could have
between
taken her?
65, 100 yards away from me.
Mhm.
You know, I don't have great vision, you know, it's not bad, but I can see somebody running, you know, and just, I went on her.
Do you wear glasses?
They call shooting glasses, because to shoot.
Okay, but not like reading?
No, no, not
prescription
reading glasses,
glasses,
no, no.
Contacts?
No.
Okay, all right, just checking. This road right here,
Geraldine.
Geraldine?
Yes.
Okay. And this would be Old Paris?
Old Paris.
Okay.
And where the truck wrecked out, that's gonna be Grove Street.
Grove Street over here, or
Yes.
this, the one that cuts it?
The one, yeah, the one intersection right there.
Okay.
That's
Grove
really
Street.
good, yeah.
Okay.
And it's a little bit off, so I wanna say
Yeah, it's not a perfect.
it's not a perfect team, because just what I saw was more towards, if you're looking at the rail system, the one more to the right-hand side. Looking at it, the right-hand side had more damage
Okay.
than anything else, you know.
All right. Okay.
You know, I wanna say the driver's side door was open, but, you know, I can't tell you for sure, but,
Mhm.
you know, a quick glance, you know,
Mhm.
radio traffic said they were running to the school, so that was my priority, you know,
Yeah.
so,
No, there's a lot going on.
oh, yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and terminate the interview.
Okay.
It's approximately 5:46 PM, and we're gonna stop the interview this time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to finish that. I don't know how much more he has on direct, but go ahead and take your afternoon recess. Take about 10 minutes, and we'll bring you back in. Everyone rise for the jury. I'm gonna appoint you.
Okay. And we can zip right through.
And I met with my lieutenant.
Okay. Sorry, it looks like we're coming back to cross. I will say that the defense has been great at cross, taking the witnesses that the state has brought on for very specific purposes and getting a lot more information and kind of perspectives from law enforcement that I don't think the state intended them to get.
Ranger Bernardo, my name is Jason Goss. I'm one of the attorneys for Adrian, representing him. You and I don't know each other, but I do have a few questions for you about the statement that you took. I guess the first question, if I could, maybe you have it up there with you, maybe you don't, but do you remember how many different people's statements you took?
No, sir, I do not.
Do you have a rough estimate of how many?
I couldn't even tell you.
Like, was it more than 10? You
Yes, sir.
think it was more than 50?
Close, but I wouldn't be able to
Okay.
tell you.
And I guess, you know, it's not like a gotcha moment on you. I just want to make sure that it's clear that you took statements from a lot of different people who were involved at the scene on that day, right?
Correct.
And I didn't really get to see, I know that you responded, because you responded there and you started taking statements as one of your duties. I guess, what time do you remember getting there? Did you get there on the 24th?
Yes, sir.
Did you get there while it was still ongoing, meaning before they shot?